On this day in history, September 18th, the Battle of Chrysopolis, fought on September 18th, 324, marked the decisive victory of Emperor Constantine over his rival Licinius, solidifying Constantine's control over the Roman Empire. The battle, fought near modern-day Istanbul, paved the way for Constantine to become the sole ruler of the empire. Philip II, known as Philip Augustus, ascended to the French throne on September 18, 1180, beginning a reign that transformed medieval France. His military reforms, which included strengthening the royal army and consolidating territories, laid the foundation for modern France. The 13 Years' War, from 1454 to 1466, was fought between the Kingdom of Poland and the Teutonic Knights. In the Battle of Chaugenus on September 18, 1454, the Teutonic Order achieved a temporary victory over the Polish army. Despite this defeat, Poland would eventually triumph in the war. The Peace of Crépy ended the Fourth Habsburg-Valois War, a series of conflicts between France and the Holy Roman Empire, signed by Emperor Charles V and King Francis I of France on September 18, 1544. This treaty temporarily ended hostilities, although tensions would later resume. In the midst of the 30 Years' War, from 1618 to 1648, Holy Roman Emperor Ferdinand II declared war on France on September 18, 1635, escalating a broader European conflict. This war shaped the political and religious landscape of Europe, leading to widespread devastation. France's involvement in the war against the Habsburgs aimed to weaken their dominance in Europe. The Treaty of Belgrade ended hostilities between the Ottoman Empire and Austria. After a series of wars, Austria ceded Belgrade to the Ottomans, altering the balance of power in the Balkan. This treaty, signed on September 18, 1739, marked the end of significant Austrian expansion into Ottoman territory and reinforced Ottoman influence in southeastern Europe. The young U.S. government faced financial difficulties, and in 1789, it took its first loan on September 18, 1789, to cover the salaries of the President and Congress. This highlighted the early struggles of the U.S. in establishing a functioning financial system post-independence. On September 18, 1793, President George Washington laid the cornerstone of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., symbolizing the establishment of the seat of government for the United States Congress. This event marked an important milestone in the development of the U.S. Capitol and its institutions. On September 18, 1837, Charles Louis Tiffany and John B. Young established a stationery and fancy goods emporium in New York City. This small business eventually evolved into Tiffany & Company, a world-renowned luxury jewelry brand, known for its iconic blue boxes and high-quality craftsmanship. The New York Times, one of the most influential newspapers in the world, began publication on September 18, 1851. Initially sold for 2 cents per copy, the newspaper quickly gained a reputation for in-depth reporting and journalistic integrity. Over the years, the New York Times became a leading source of global news, shaping public opinion on important issues. The collapse of J. Cook & Company, a major investment bank, on September 18, 1873, triggered the Panic of 1873, leading to a widespread economic depression. The Long Depression, which followed, was characterized by bank failures, a stock market crash, and high unemployment in Europe and the U.S. This event marked the end of a period of economic growth and led to significant financial reforms. On September 18, 1895, Booker T. Washington delivered his famous Atlanta Compromise speech at the Cotton States and International Exposition. In this speech, he advocated for vocational education and economic self-reliance for African Americans, emphasizing cooperation between races in the segregated South. While praised by some, Washington's message was also criticized for its perceived accommodation to racial inequality. Daniel David Palmer performed the first chiropractic adjustment in Davenport, Iowa on September 18, 1895. Palmer's work led to the establishment of chiropractic colleges and the development of the practice as an alternative medicine that focuses on spinal health and its connection to overall well-being. The Columbia Broadcasting System, CBS, started its first broadcast on September 18, 1927, with a network of 18 radio stations. CBS quickly became one of the dominant forces in American radio and television, shaping the entertainment industry and news media in the 20th century. The Mukden Incident, also known as the Manchurian Incident, was a staged event by the Japanese military on September 18, 1931, to justify their invasion of Manchuria, China. A small explosion on a Japanese-controlled railway near Mukden, now Shenyang, was blamed on Chinese forces, giving Japan a pretext to invade and occupy the region. This event marked the beginning of Japanese expansion in Asia and escalated tensions leading up to World War II. On September 18, 1944, the British submarine HMS Tradewind torpedoed the Japanese cargo ship Junyomaru, which was transporting Allied prisoners of war, POWs, and Javanese laborers. The sinking resulted in the deaths of over 5,600 people, making it one of the deadliest maritime disasters of World War II. This tragic event highlighted the brutal conditions POWs faced during the war. On September 18, 1947, the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, was officially established through the National Security Act. Created in the early years of the Cold War, the CIA became a key institution for U.S. intelligence and foreign policy operations. On the same day, the U.S. Air Force was established as an independent branch of the U.S. military, separating from the U.S. Army. Bank of America mailed out the first Bank AmeriCard in Fresno, California, on September 18, 1958. This was the first modern credit card, allowing customers to make purchases on credit and pay later. The concept revolutionized the financial industry, leading to the creation of the Visa system, which became one of the largest global payment networks. On September 18, 1963, the Soviet Union placed a massive order of 58.5 million barrels of wheat from Australia. This was a significant event during the Cold War, as it highlighted the USSR's reliance on foreign agricultural imports to address domestic shortages. On September 18, 1980, the musical Les Miserables, composed by Alain Boublil and Herbert Kretzmer, premiered in Paris. Adapted from Victor Hugo's 1862 novel, the musical would become one of the most popular and longest-running theatrical productions in history. Les Miserables continues to captivate audiences worldwide with its powerful story of social justice, love, and redemption set against the backdrop of revolutionary France. On September 18, 1987, the United States and the Soviet Union agreed to eliminate their intermediate-range nuclear forces, INF, in a landmark arms control agreement. Signed by U.S. President Ronald Reagan and Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev later that year, the INF Treaty was a major step toward de-escalating Cold War tensions. It required both countries to dismantle and destroy their land-based missiles with ranges between 500 and 5,500 kilometers, a significant move in nuclear disarmament efforts. In celebration of the 900th anniversary of the University of Bologna, representatives from over 400 universities worldwide signed the Magna Carta Universitatum on September 18, 1988. This document reaffirmed the values of academic freedom, institutional autonomy, and the importance of universities in promoting human progress. Media mogul Ted Turner made headlines on September 18, 1997, by announcing his $1 billion donation to the United Nations, establishing the United Nations Foundation. His unprecedented donation was intended to support UN programs focused on global health, poverty alleviation, climate change, and world peace. On September 18, 1998, ICANN, Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, was established to oversee the Global Domain Name System, DNS, and ensure the stability of the Internet's infrastructure. ICANN plays a critical role in managing the assignment of domain names and IP addresses, ensuring that the Internet remains organized and functional. The world's first successful mother-to-daughter uterus transplant was performed on September 18, 2012, at the University of Gothenburg in Sweden. This groundbreaking surgery marked a major advancement in reproductive medicine, offering new hope for women unable to conceive due to uterine infertility. On September 18, 2023, Chioma Nnadi was named the new head of British Vogue, becoming the first black woman to lead a major fashion magazine. Her appointment marked a historic moment in the fashion industry, reflecting efforts to embrace diversity and inclusivity at the highest levels of media. Thank you so much for watching and being part of our community. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Until next time, keep exploring the past, and we'll see you in the next video.